Have you ever wondered where all the bliss in marriage suddenly goes after some short period of marriage? I mean, consider those wonderful moments or days when you could spend lots of time with your sweetheart. I'm Dr. Paul Kumi, a clinical health psychologist and trauma specialist. In this video, you will learn about the so-called 7-year itch that marriage experiences and how to mitigate its impact on your marriage, whether it's a young marriage or you've been married for a while. So present data tells us that a significant number of people begin to feel dissatisfied within the 4th to 8th year of marriage. This peaks within the 5th year to the 8th year, and sometimes in the 10th to 12th year. Within this period, a lot of marriages may begin to struggle. And the question is why? According to scientists, this period marks significant moments of stress, primarily chronic stress. So imagine being married and experiencing those first months or years of trying to figure out each other, your makeup, your personality, and why you do the things you do. And sometimes some of the surprises that you thought you knew this person so well, but you soon found out that this is not really somebody you know. So the first years of our marriage throws this challenge at us where we're trying to find our feet. Usually it's a bit easy to deal with this period because trying to find our feet, we have ample time. However, when a wife conceives and the changes in her body begins to show, then there's an additional stress. So there's changes in mood, there's postpartum challenges. For a first time dad, that can be unsettling, wondering whether you would make a good dad, planning on how to welcome this new life into the world. That could strain you a bit. And then you find that within the same period, around this time, you may have to pick up professionally because the assumption is that people marry quite young. And so maybe climbing their career ladder and would have to put in a lot more work. So as we're expecting children, we are also plunging our heads into a lot of career stuff, a lot of educational stuff. And this leaves little room for conversation, for time being spent together. Sometimes when the children come in, then attention is shifted to them, their needs, the financial demands, and the need for one to rise in their career or do better in their career so they can meet the financial demands. And then once all the concentration is on children, we begin to lose track of the well-being of each other. In the event that there are no kids, then social expectations set in. People asking questions they shouldn't be asking, people passing comments they shouldn't be passing, and sometimes they could place a significant strain on the marriage. So you'd find that within the first 5 years of marriage, where typically the couple is trying to know each other better, trying to find their feet in their professions, trying to rise, going to school, juggling kids, in the event that you don't have help, trying to work through all your schedules without help. Now, this is chronic stress. And on the most part, this period of our life takes us away from each other. We may barely talk. We may barely even find the time. Now, juxtapose that with the period where you and your spouse just got married or were dating into marriage. You had all the time. You would spend time together. You would go to the movies. You would do some outings. You would visit some friends. You had ample time to engage each other. Even if you were juggling career and school, you didn't have to juggle social expectations and children and all of that. In essence, when it comes to the 7-year hitch or itch of marriage, you would find that the central theme that will run through all of this is time. Enough time to communicate, enough time to know each other, enough time to spend time out of home, enough time to visit people, even enough time to rest, enough time to enjoy your personal space and recuperate and find each other again, enough time to be there for each other. As we juxtaposing this, you would find that to avoid and to avert the impact of the 7-year hitch, which is very, very plausible in many marriages, one thing you need is time. And so whenever you are considering that you're tired of the marriage and your partner doesn't care anymore, you don't feel belonged, you don't feel loved, you don't feel that they are being there for you, they don't listen to you. But once you're thinking of all of this, also consider the central theme, time. On the most part, you would find that it is not because the person doesn't want to do it, it is because time has been stolen from the marriage. And so if there's that one thing you can do to avert this 7-year hitch, before you begin to think of dissolution, before you begin to think of having enough of the marriage, ask yourself, have we made time? Have we been able to spend ample time? Have we made time to talk through our issues? Once you realize that time has become that significant impediment in your marriage, then you need to focus on creating time. Until you do this, this is going to persist, because once stress accumulates, as we learned in the previous videos, various forms of stress will begin to hit. So you may have the acute stress and the chronic stress, the internal and the external stress. And then also, depending on how we've managed those ones, you would also find that you would have all your brain systems fighting against you. And it's all because it wants time to calm down. So just before you throw in the towel, just before you begin to think that you are incompatible or the marriage will not work or you can't seem to figure things out, ask yourself, have we made time? That is the first step in mitigating the 7-year hitch on marriage. When you realize that you both have been busy caring for kids, you both have been busy professionally, you both have been busy dealing with external issues, societal pressure, societal expectation, decide to create time. In our second video on in the marriage series that talked about incompatibility, you would find that there are some steps one could take to create time. And once you begin to create time, your marriage will find its feet again. The second antidote is that when you notice that within this period where there's accumulated stress, you haven't been able to make time to know each other, to talk, to spend time, and all the things I have mentioned, also consider that if it has happened that trust was broken within this period, maybe someone started talking to another person just by way of getting away, maybe someone got involved with another person and this has broken trust, also realize that time is what you need to heal this wound. Now, time does not necessarily heal wounds if the time is not used appropriately. So the second step is that buy time and go get some therapy. Go get some couples therapy, because for issues of trust, sometimes just making time is not enough. But making time to know what to say and how to say it, how to restore trust, is the most important thing. And on the most part, you would need some form of help to do this. That is why therapy is important. So to avert the 7-year hitch, which is possible, always ask yourself, has time been stolen from us? How are we going to redeem the time that has been stolen from us? What will we do with the time? And in the event that trust has been broken, should we seek help regarding the trust that has been broken? That is what will restore your marriage and will help your marriage overcome the 7-year hitch. I hope you find this video useful. Please subscribe and share and enjoy our next video. Thank you.